tres. He is one of the most mediatic and bloodthirsty serial killers in the United States. His name, Ted Bundy. His crimes left an indelible mark, causing a great commotion in the American society, which endures to these days in the collective memory. Throughout the 1970s, Ted Bundy terrorized the nation by committing more than 30 murders, although a total of 30 victims are attributed to him. It's now with certainty that he murdered at least 36 young women. Bundy's homicides has a profound impact to his sadistic and meticulous nature. For years, he managed to elude a police pursuit, making a difficult target to catch. However, some of the women who served his attacks began to provide valuable clues that allowed the police to close in on him. Finally, in the 1978, the police managed to capture him, putting in the end to his reign of terror. At the time, he was um, one of the 10 most wanted fugitives in the United States. Bundy was caught in February 1978 by a Pensacola police officer while driving his car. The car had a stolen license plate, and he also proved to the officer with a stolen driver's license. After years of killing, Ted Bundy was finally caught, and this was his judgment. Uh, would you state your name for us, please?
Karen Ann Chandler.
Okay. It's about your last name for the record, please.
Yes. Chandler.
Thanks. And where are you from, Karen?
I am presently in Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. And where did you live back in January of 1978?
In Tallahassee, we're in the comic house.
In Tallahassee. And you recall what room we lived?
In room number 8.
Okay. And did you have a roommate or something?
And yes, I did Katie Kleiner.
Thanks. What was your major, Karen?
My major was fashion merchandising.
And what are you doing in Atlanta now?
I work for Regis.
Okay. And uh, do you recall the night of January 14, 1978?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were you doing that night?
Um, that was Friday night. Saturday night. I had gone over my parents' house to fix dinner for them, and I had come home kind of over a week.
Thanks. So, uh, do your parents live in Tallahassee?
Yes, they do.
Okay, thanks. So, um, whatever you say, you came home early. Where did you come to the sorority house? How did you gain entry to the sorority house?
That night, see the back door.
So, is that combination locked door, right?
Yes,
Thanks. Um, okay. What did you do when you came into the door?
came home, I punched in the combination and entered.
Okay. What did you do whenever you came inside?
I walked through the rec room and up the stairs and into my room.
Okay. Was your roommate home at that time?
No, she wasn't.
Okay. So about what time are we talking about now?
Mm, between 10:30 and 11.
Third fast. Okay. What did you do whenever you got to your room?
I was started 7 and I was watching TV.
So, did you go to bed?
I went to bed about 12 o'clock.
Okay, midnight. How about your roommate? What time did she come in? Do you know?
She came in probably a little after 11:30.
11:30. Okay, and um, what did you all do after she came into the department?
Well, she went right to bed and I stayed for a little while and then I turned off the Tiffany went to bed.
Okay, and in that time, you heard any noises or were you around it during the night?
Yes, sir.
So, Karen, what is the next thing that you remember?
Being lifted into ambulance.
Okay, and what's the next thing that you remember after that?
After that, I'm getting sick.
Okay, um, where was that and the hospital? How long were you at the hospital?
From the Saturday night until Friday afternoon of the next week.
Whoa, so, okay, where you entered?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we almost finished. Um, could you tell us what your injuries were, please?
Um, well, I was hurt on the head. I had cuts on my head. I had a broken how some of my teeth were knocked out on my head. I broken facial bones. I had a broken arm and a crushed finger.
Sorry, I don't listen the last part.
A crushed finger.
Okay. Um, the last one. Karen, do you know who did that too?
Yes, sir.
So, were you awake or asleep at the time?
Asleep.
Okay. Thanks, Karen. That's all.
This expert was a part of the trial hearing in which an interrogation was made of survivor of death attacks. In the end, Ted Bundy was sentenced to the consenting of electrical chair for killing the surrender of 36 women, although it's mentioned that in reality the number of victims exceeds that amount. He's one of the most famous serial killers in the United States due to the charisma and attractiveness he possessed, causing fascination among women. And this is uh, he was executed on January 24, 1989 and Florida State Prison. It said that millions of people saw his execution and how many thousand gathered outside the position to show born. Before his execution, Bundy refused to choose one last meal, so he was served steak, eggs, chips, and toast, which is the basic meal that dead row inmates receive if they don't have a preference. Bundy died in the electric chair. And this is Ted Bundy's story.